I'm going to perform a little magic trick on you. As soon as I snap my fingers, your head will be entirely empty of all thoughts. So, ready? There you go. You're welcome. The procedure is done. Now, if you don't believe that this has in fact happened, just check in with the direct evidence of your experience right now. In order to check whether this is true, we of course first need to find our head. If we want to say that the head is empty, we first need to identify it as something. So on direct experiential evidence, what do you know of your head right now? All I know of having a head right now is simply sensation. And those sensations aren't exactly easy to pin down. They are very ephemeral. It's difficult to find their edge. They are clearly not nothing, but they're also not presenting itself as a clearly defined object. I of course recognize these sensations to belong to my head, but nothing about those sensations in of itself says I'm a head. They're just a flow of feeling, and they never actually construct a solid object. Now, do I actually see my head? Well, no. If I look for this solid thing I believe to be here, I actually don't find anything. No head, no object, no something whatsoever is presenting itself here. So if I believe that thoughts are happening in my head, what am I actually saying? Do I actually believe that thoughts are happening in those ephemeral sensations I interpret as my head? Is that actually ever happening? Has that ever been witnessed by anybody? No, quite clearly that's not the case. Now you might say, well, people don't actually believe their thoughts are happening in their head. But I would say that's not quite true. People do really believe that, and they really do construct themselves as this solid thing over here, which has to carry the burden of these suffocating thoughts. When people say, my head is about to explode, my head is so full, I can't deal with this anymore, they're not just lying, they're actually having an experience in which it really seems like their head is full. But beautifully, on direct evidence, that belief is just not substantiated. And yet, of course, it's not like thoughts are happening nowhere, that thoughts are just lost. Thoughts are simply happening in this open awareness. This awareness doesn't need to be manufactured. We don't bring it about. It is already naturally and effortlessly here. So we can simply relax and enjoy. Thoughts are already being held in this openness, and thoughts are already self-liberating, self-releasing, with no interference required. So if we experience thoughts from this openness, their presence is not a problem. We are not suffocated by them. Thoughts are being taken care of in the best way they could be. So just familiarize with this natural, effortless presence. How it is to live from this, to be this. And surely you will not be disappointed.